Hello, this is Beyond Barbering at Home Tips. My name is Mitchell T. Palmer. You know my name, damn it. Today we're going to discuss pomades, hair care product, the proper way of putting it in your hair. And that's where we come to this slide. We want you to get the best hold possible. We want you to avoid overuse. That can become really expensive. Remove the daily worry of how do you get it right and look good all day long. Let's talk about some of the pomades that I have come in contact with in my barbering career. The first of them is Shiner Gold. Lay Right, that's the original brand, or the original hold of pomade. All of these brands make a super hold and a regular hold. Ruzel, and finally Suavecito. Now the first three of these brands, Shiner Gold, Lay Right, and Ruzel, are all a little bit more salve-like in their consistency, meaning they feel a little bit more like a thick Vaseline, but again, they're not oily. Suavecito tends to have a little bit oilier texture to it. They all have a variety of different smells, and I find all of them to be pretty pleasant. Shiner Gold also makes a clay, as do all these other brands. I am most familiar with the Shiner Gold and the Lay Right clays. I like them both. Pomades and clays, but I prefer on a daily basis more of that softer and a little bit moister feeling that you get with a pomade. Yes, I just used the word moister or more moist. Either of two ways, I've just worked the word moist into this tip video multiple different times. I hope you're impressed. My personal choice in pomade and clay, by the way, is Shiner Gold. The Shiner Gold brand has become hands down my favorite, one I prefer to use on a daily basis when I'm wearing pomade. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about why. Now, I have sold Ruzel, I've sold Lay Right, I have also sold Shiner Gold. I tried Suavecito once for myself. I didn't like the oilier texture, and I opted not to sell it to anybody. My clients, by and large, all seem to not prefer that oilier texture. But let's look at some of the reasons why I prefer Shiner Gold. Well, first of all, it's because they are owner-operated. Now, being a barber shop, when it's time for me to order more pomade, I deal directly with the man who founded the company, Jimmy. I really like that. Now, if I were a retail customer, I think I'd still like to know that this is somebody who might be just like you or me, out there trying to run his business and make his way by providing a quality product with a quality logistics, a delivery system that is really easy to use. So, owner-operated is important to me, Buy American. They are, again, all water soluble, but I prefer the pomade and clay Shiner Gold brings because of its water solubility. What does that mean? That just means that it will rinse out easily with water, with warm water even easier, and on occasion, if you use shampoo, comes out slick as snot. And I'm not suggesting we're putting snot in your hair. So just don't read more into that than you might have already. This being said, of course, all four of the brands that I've shown you today are all water-soluble brands. So, the other thing I do like about Shiner Gold, I have found I don't need as much. Some of the other brands, I need a little bit more for the hold that I want. I have a pretty thick head of hair. It's pretty stubborn, and the grayer it turns, the more stubborn it becomes. A little bit more hold. But that hold happens to be very consistent across the board with Shiner Gold. Meaning that by the end of the day, I usually have noticed with the other brands that I've used. By the end of the day, depending on the humidity in the air, whether it's cool or dry, whether I sweat a lot, whether I reach through my hair and touch it a lot, which I do, Shiner Gold seems to hold up all day long, where some of the others, by the end of the day, they aren't holding as firmly. I call this sloughing off. The hold sloughs off a little bit. That's not quite what it was in the morning when I first applied it. Now we're going to get into applying more of this and how to go about doing it. But I love Shiner Gold because of that all-day hold I just talked about. Finally, we've come to the portion of this, knowing my personal choice, And this is the brand that we sell at Gentleman Barber. Now we've got to the point where I'm going to actually apply this pomade to my hair on camera. I get one shot at this, or I'm gonna have to shampoo it out and start all over again. So I'm hoping this goes well. I've been a little nervous about doing this video. Here is about, let me get it over here. There we go. Get over there where there's a little darker background. You can see that glob of Shiner Gold pomade. Now, that's about twice as much as I need. I got a little bit carried away when I scooped it out with my little popsicle stick spatula here. The other thing we're gonna need is a comb. Now, whether you like to style your hair with a comb or not, whether you're run it through with your fingers after you've applied the product, that's fine. I want you to get a comb and consider using this for the best overall application first thing in the day. There are those of you who like to use a brush. I have here my vent brush used for styling your hair when you blow dry it. The vents are made so that you can blow air through the brush while combing or brushing your hair. I like to style my hair with a vent brush, so we're gonna see both varieties just as soon as I'm done. The last and probably most important thing I'm going to have is just an everyday use of a hand towel. See there, I almost screwed it up. You get one take at this, and I almost screwed it up with the towel. The towel is just for me to be able to wipe a little bit of this residue off while I finish the video up here. We're gonna go ahead and apply this now. A couple of things that I want you to bear in mind. This has been out of the jar for a little bit. It's become a little cold. Now it's a little stiff. But the first thing you wanna do is take that portion of pomade or clay that you want to use, and I want you to concentrate on distributing that evenly throughout your fingertips. Okay, as a man before barbering came into my world on a daily basis as a career path, I used to smear this all over my hands. I want you to notice there's some shine to my fingertips and thumbs. There is no shine to my palms. I cannot run my palms through my hair. I can run my fingers through my hair. The one thing you want to concentrate on, and I want to make sure this is looking pretty evenly distributed, I want my fingers to be pretty evenly coated, not have a lot of big thick globs or strings of the pomade, because we'll get a more even distribution through the hair. Next, we're going to work that pomade through the hair, and I'll ask for your consideration while I do this. It's going to look a little wild and crazy. What we're trying to do is get, by touch, a tactile feeling, a feel for what part of your hair is and what part of your hair is not coated as well with the pomade. Don't worry about that. We're going to use the comb in a minute, and I'll show you a trick on how to make sure it's even. But now that we've got the pomade pretty evenly coated throughout the top of my hair, I am going to pick up my comb. This is a Shiner Gold comb. Now, you don't have to use the Shiner Gold comb, but I wanted to use it because this Shiner Gold comb is the Shine and Destroy comb. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really cool. The next thing we're gonna do is comb through that hair. Notice the draw is a little stiffer until you get it a little heated up. I'll have you remember that when I put this pomade in my hair, it was cold. It's been sitting out for a few minutes. But the point to the comb is you wanna comb that pomade through. Think of it as kind of a squeegee. We're squeegeeing bigger clumps through the hair and making sure to get an even distribution. The teeth of that comb will do a great job of that. Now, as a final step for me, because as I said, I prefer to style my hair with a vent brush, I'm going to go through it. Now, you can still get a style to your hair after applying your pomade or clay or other products with a comb. If you prefer using a comb, then use a comb. I use a vent brush. Let me see how I'm doing by looking in my monitor. That's not half bad. I'll ask for your long-suffering patience for the fact that I'm looking into a camera lens and not a mirror. But we can also style this by going through it with our fingers. Again, the fingers rather than the palms is what you want to use. Now, I think that looks fairly decent. I'm gonna grab my hand towel real quickly, and I'm gonna say, in the meantime, thank you very much for joining me today. Those are some tips and tricks on using pomade appropriately to make sure you get an overall even coat that will last throughout the day. and a water-soluble product that you can easily rinse or shampoo out of your hair at the end of the day. This has been Beyond Barbering at-Home Tips. Again, I'm your host, Mitchell T. Palmer. You know my name, damn it. And I'm asking you to come back for the next tip next week. In the meantime, be good or don't get caught. Bye.